Hi, it's Tesh from the Form Filler, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can get your document legalized. I'm on the gov.uk website and I'll put the official link in the description box below for you. Here it says get your document legalized. You can get certain official UK documents legalized by submitting them to the legalization office. You might need to do this if an official in another country has asked you to provide a UK document and they've said it must be legalized. The legalization office will check the document and see if any signatures, stamps or seals match their own records. If they do match, they'll legalize the document by attaching an apostille, which is a stamped official certificate. And it's worth bearing in mind that you cannot get documents issued outside the UK legalized using this service. You must get them legalized in the country they were issued. Before you apply, you need to check your documents can be legalized. You can get documents legalized if they've been issued by a court and sealed with a wet ink court seal, a public registry such as a birth, marriage or death certificate, or a company certificate issued by Companies House, a government department and signed by an official, such as a letter of confirmation of tax registration, or a registered doctor, such as a medical certificate signed by a doctor. You can also get other documents legalized as long as they've been certified by a UK public official, such as a UK notary or solicitor. For example, documents such as a power of attorney, a contract or a qualification certificate. Copies of documents such as a passport or a driving license. And in this particular video, the document that I'm going to get legalized is a UK birth certificate. Check requirements for the apostille. There are two types of apostille. They can either be paper-based, you'll need to send your documents by post or submit them in person if you're a registered business, or electronic, known as an e-Apostille. You'll need to upload your documents as PDF files that have been electronically signed by a UK notary or solicitor. You apply for both types online. You can choose which one to get, but you may need to get a paper-based apostille if either the person who has asked you for the document wants a paper-based apostille or the type of document they need is not eligible for an e-Apostille. You cannot get an e-Apostille for birth, death, marriage, civil partnership and adoption certificates or any other document from the General Register Office. ACRL police certificates for England and Wales, Disclosure Barring Service DBS certificates for England and Wales, disclosure certificates for Scotland and Northern Ireland, fingerprint certificates, membership certificates for the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. And it is always worthwhile to contact the person asking for legalized documents. You need to check if they need a paper-based apostille or whether it can be an e-Apostille, and if it's a single apostille for a group of documents or a separate apostille for each document. Again, for the purpose for this video, I'm going to be applying for a paper-based apostille for a UK birth certificate. Moving on to costs. What it costs. For the standard paper-based option, the fee per apostille is £45 plus courier or postage costs. Next day for registered businesses only, paper-based, is £40. An e-Apostille is £35 and a restricted urgent service for registered businesses only, paper-based, is £100. And when it comes to courier costs for paper-based apostilles, there are extra costs to get your documents returned if you use the standard paper-based service. In the UK, it's £5 per 1.5 kilograms. And for European countries that are not excluded from the list here, it's £21 per 1.5 kilos. And the rest of the world, it's £25 per 1.5 kilos. You currently cannot have legalized documents returned to Russia, Ukraine, or Belarus. You can have either the documents returned somewhere else and send them to these countries yourself, or use the e-Apostille service instead. If you do not want to pay courier fees and you want the documents returned to somewhere in the UK, you can pay for postage instead of a courier. When you send in your documents, you'll need to include an A4 envelope with the UK address you want the document sent to and enough UK stamps to cover the postage cost. How long does it take? For the standard paper-based option, it usually takes up to 5 working days, plus courier or postage time, taking into account the current time frame when you're applying. The next day for registered option, for businesses only, paper-based, is next working day, e-Apostille is up to 2 working days, and restricted urgent service for registered businesses only, paper-based, is same day. All applications for this service must be pre-approved by emailing this email address. All these services may take longer, for example if there's a signature that needs to be verified. and the legalization office will let you know if this happens. Now, let's apply for legalization. Get your document legalized. Apply online for a paper-based apostille or an e-apostille. To apply, you'll need the documents you want to legalize and a credit or debit card to pay the fees. If you're applying for a paper-based apostille and you're sending documents by post, you'll also need the address you want your legalized documents returned to and access to a printer. Now we'll click on Start Now. Choose a service. With both standard paper-based and electronic e-apostille services, you will apply and pay online and pay by debit or credit card for each apostille certificate required. Do factor in courier or postage times and costs if you choose the paper-based service. So here we've got the standard paper-based service option where you send in signed documents by courier or post, get legalized documents with paper apostilles sent back to your specified address, share legalized paper documents by courier or post, an account is optional, and you get your application processed within 15 working days. Or you can go for the electronic e-Apostille service where you upload documents as PDFs electronically signed by a UK notary or solicitor. You then download legalized documents with e-Apostilles as soon as they are ready. You share legalized digital versions, for example by email. An account is required so that you can check your progress and download documents, and you get your application processed within 2 working days. And of course the asterisk denotes that processing times may vary if there are questions about your application. For the purpose of this video, we're going to go ahead and click on the standard paper-based service and then click on Continue. Check if documents can be legalized. You can get a UK document with a signature, stamp or seal of a UK public official legalized. You may need to send your document in a particular format, for example an original, not a photocopy. You can use this tool to check if your document can be legalized. So let's click on Check Your Documents. Search and select your documents. Start typing to search for the documents you want to legalize. And if you don't know the document's name, you can check the full list of documents we can legalize by clicking on this blue hyperlink. Once you've found the document, click Select. You can then search for and add more documents if you need to. And handily here it has top searches of degree certificate, birth certificate, divorce document, court document, company's house document, and certificate of incorporation. So I'm going to click on birth certificate, which then generates this document and actions, and then go ahead and click on select. And here it's now generated selected documents birth certificate with a quantity of 1. I don't need to make any amendments here, so I'll go ahead and click on continue. Confirm the document format. Birth certificate UK. Your birth certificate UK can be legalized. We can only accept the document in the following format. Please confirm that you will send us your original UK birth certificate or a certified copy from either the General Register Office or local register office. I will indeed be sending the original green birth certificate, so I'm going to select this option and then click on continue. Important information. Please read the following information to prevent potential delays to your application. Medical documents. If you are submitting a document that has been signed by a medical practitioner, please include contact details for the signatory within your application, including their email address. This is essential should we need to contact them to verify their signature. Education certificates. Please ensure that all education certificates presented for legalization are signed, certified and dated by a UK solicitor or notary public, or by an official of the British Council. If certified by the British Council, then it must be an original educational qualification certificate. Please check with your local British Council first, as this service is not available at all locations. Photocopies. Please note that under no circumstances can we accept photocopies of UK birth, death, marriage, civil partnership or adoption certificates. Nor can we accept photocopies of police disclosure certificates issued by ACRO, Disclosure Scotland, Access NI or DBS. Marriage certificates. If you are submitting an original marriage certificate that has been signed by a minister of religion or an authorized person, please include contact details for either the signatory or the location the ceremony was held, including their email address. This is essential should we need to contact them to verify the signature. Let's go ahead and click on continue. So your details, I'm going to be putting in my first, last name, my mobile number, and an email address so I can get confirmation of the application. And then I'll click on continue. Return address details. Is the return address in the UK? For this application, the address is in the UK, so I'll select yes and then click on continue. Return address details. enter the UK postcode. So enter the postcode and I'll click on find UK address. I found my address through the drop down, and now I'm going to put the name of the person you would like the document to return to. Let's scroll down and go to continue. Return address if we can't legalize your documents. Where would you like us to post your documents if we are unable to legalize them? So we can go for same address as before, which is the address I put in previously, or a different address. I'll stick with the same address and then I'll click on continue. Number of documents. How many documents do you want to legalize? Bear in mind that each document costs £45. On this occasion, I'm just going to be asking for one document, that's a UK birth certificate, to be legalized. So I'll put one here and then click on continue. Sending us your documents. Select how you send your documents. You can post your documents from the UK. You'll use a courier to send your documents from the UK, or you're overseas and will post or courier your documents to the UK. I'm going to opt to post them from the UK and then click on continue. Returning your documents. Select a delivery method for the return of your documents. The legalization office will arrange for the return of your documents by courier from 9 AM to 5 PM Monday to Friday, excluding bank holidays, for a cost of £5. Or you'll arrange for the return of your document by adding stamps onto a self-addressed envelope which you'll include with your documents, typically ranging from £1 to £8 as the cost varies. I'm going to opt for the legalization office arranging the return of the documents by courier. And when I select it, it says your documents will be couriered in a board-backed envelope. If you want additional protection when you send us your application, include an envelope which will hold your documents unfolded, typically A4 size or larger. Now let's click on continue. Additional information. Your reference, optional. If you have your own internal reference number, you can enter it here. I'll leave that blank. And there's some information here about potentially providing feedback. On this occasion, I'm going to opt for no, and then go ahead and click on continue. Check your answers before paying for your application. Here is a quick summary of all the information I've provided in the previous pages. So here it's personal details, the name, email address and telephone number of the person applying. Then it's the return address. Return address for successfully legalized documents. And the return address if we can't legalize your documents. I've just gone for same as above. And the document details is the total number of documents is 1. And for postage, we've gone for the send delivery method of you'll post your documents from the UK, and the return delivery method of the legalization office will arrange for the return of your documents by courier. And additional information, my feedback consent was no. To costs, the cost for legalizing one document is £45, with the cost of postage being £5, bringing it to the grand total of £50. Let's click on continue. Declaration. By continuing, you confirm that the information you've given is correct and you've agreed to the terms and conditions. I'll select the I agree box and then confirm application details and pay. We're now at the payment page, so we're entering the credit or debit card details for the costs of £50. Once I've entered those details, I get a page for checking card details and then confirm your payment. Again, just confirming the card details that are provided, and then I'm going to go ahead, once I'm happy with information, to click on confirm payment. Then we have the total amount is £50 for one document and returned by UK courier. I get an application reference number and an email confirmation is also sent to my email address. What to do next? You then have to print your cover sheet. But what if you don't have a printer? If you don't have a printer, write down the application reference number above, your name and address, and send this to us with your documents. We've also sent you an email with the application reference and office address details, so you have the option to print that at another computer later. You would then send your documents via Royal Mail track delivery to the legalization office address. Scrolling down, it says how long it takes and when you'll be charged. Applications can take up to 15 working days at the time of recording, plus courier or postage time. We manage payment as follows. Your payment card is charged immediately, and if we haven't received your documents within 60 days, your payment will be refunded and the money returned to your account, and you will then need to make another application. If we can't legalize your documents, we'll refund your payments, but we'll charge the courier fee to return your documents to you if you've not supplied your own prepaid return envelope. So taking that all into account, I'm going to then scroll back up and then click on print cover sheet. That then opens a new tab and this information is provided to me. So it does reiterate a lot of the information that I previously provided, but you also get things like a QR code and an application reference number. So on this occasion, I'm going to go ahead and click on print to get the cover sheet. Here's the email that I received from GovUK. It says application confirmation. You've successfully submitted your legalization application and here's your application reference number. What to do next? Using Raw Mail Track Delivery, send us your documents with a printout of your application cover sheet or this email to this address. Please ensure your documents have been certified by the relevant authority with an original wet ink signature and/or seal. I then received this text message from FCDO Legalization Office. Please do not respond to this SMS. FCDO Legalization Office, we've completed your application and dispatched your documents. Following that, I got an email. We are expecting a delivery for you. Your item from FCO Overseas Registration Unit will soon be with us at DX Express. The day your item is out for delivery, you will receive a further alert to confirm. You can view the status of your item and the options you have for this delivery. And DX Express is a specialist delivery company appointed by FCO Overseas Registration Unit. I then received this package in an A4 secure backed envelope. And here's where that £45 went. The birth certificate was returned back to me with the apostille affixed to the back with the information about who has signed it and who they are acting on in capacity of. And I also received a cover note from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office confirming the application reference number again. And as it states here at the bottom, this apostille is not to be used in the UK and only confirms the authenticity of the signature, seal or stamp on the attached UK public document. It does not confirm the authenticity of the underlying document. Apostilles attached to documents that have been photocopied and certified in the UK confirm the signature of the UK official who conducted the certification only. It does not authenticate either the signature on the original document or the contents of the original document in any way. And then now that I've got this document back, I can then send it over to the requesting party. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do give it a like and consider subscribing. Why not share it with someone else you think may benefit from it? And if you have any questions or comments, leave them for me below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I've been Tesh from The Form Filler. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.